I use this, just to ramble a little, because I'm rambling anyway. I might as well hit record. But you don't want that, man. You want the projection of it. You don't want that in reality. You want the projections. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the actual thing. And that's kind of a test the way that I've looked at myself and looked at some of the things that I said I wanted, but my effort to get on, you don't want that, man. You don't really want that. You want the projection. What it is that you projected in your mind and what that actually is two totally different things. And a lot of times those worlds cross, where you project something in your mind and then you actually get it. And you be like, it's not what you projected. It's not what your perception of it. It don't match up. And I think that is starting to push forward into the whole virtual aspect of it. It's like these projections are pushed, are projected to us every day, just like those sandwiches right there. But it was two McDonald's filet of fish grouped together. That was a beautiful projection, the coloring and everything. But if I go get it right now, I want that projection. Like, man, let me go get me two of those. But if you go get it, you get two of them, they're going to be flat. They might not be hot. They're going to taste like cardboard. You're going to have to get stacks of tartar sauce on it. That's the real thing. Versus the projection. And I think that it can feed into, are we living in a virtual reality? Because most of everything that I see as I'm riding down the street right here, everything I see is a projection. But is it really what it is? And a lot of times, like I said, when you do a test case with the projection versus the actual thing, it's not. It's not. The little shorty, she might match up. You might match up with the projection when you got your clothes on, when you got your hair cut, when you got your stuff tight and together. That projection might not be the real thing. And that's the difference between being real. That's the definition of to me, of being real, when the projection and the real thing is a 1-to-1 match and they match up. And you don't get a lot of that, man. It used to be you get more than what you paid for. You get more than your money. You get bang for the buck. It used to be that way. Something that you want, you actually got more than what you wanted. Then it went to, you get what you pay for, so you don't get extra. You got what you actually paid for. Now, you can pay, and you don't get shit. Now you can barely get your money. Now you got to be worried about paying or buying in and not getting nothing back for it. Because it was only a projection, and we're moving more and more towards a projected or oriented world, to where things are really not what they seem. I mean, these things do exist, but the projection of it exists too. And it may or it may not match up. If it matches up, then it's real. No matter what it is, people, places, or things. Third dimension. People, places, and things. What's beyond people, places, and things? That's when you get into the fourth dimension. If you can think of what's a fourth dimension. You got your people, you got your places, you got your things. Matter of fact, there was a book when I was in elementary school called People, Places, and Things, right? That's what's outside of that people are living right now for what they living for. Even if you say, oh, Jesus or Muhammad, that's a person. Jesus and the 12 disciples, those are people. Heaven, that's a place. Streets of gold, that's a thing. You see? What's outside of people, places, and things? What's outside the third dimension? Then you'll be on the, if you could think of that, if you can go outside the mind, if you can go outside that projection of those three things, you'll be on your way, man, to the fourth dimension, which is going to be outside of everything that you see. Outside, that's going to be outside of five senses. That's your fourth dimension, man. Which is outside of this just shell where your mind is an interface, soft shell. Your mind is like born again shell. For those who understand programming, you interface with the system through a shell. Bass shell. You know, you got a couple other different types of shells. There has to be a way for you to interface with the system to be able to read, to be able to write, to be able to delete, to modify, you know, and that's what our mind is when we interface into this system, this virtual system. That's what our mind, that's what your mind can do. And I was building with myself on this a couple days ago, right? Where my mind, when they said, boy, where your mind at? You know, you know, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. Your mind not only does this when you're asleep, but while you're awake, your mind is out doing things, seeing things. And then when you dream, those things that your mind went out and it saw and it captured that was on another level, it'll bring it back to you in a dream. I ain't saying every dream is like this. This is just mind theory. This is just the theory that the mind is active. When you're asleep, it's out doing it when you're awake, daydreaming. Pay attention. What they say, Earth calling Ralph? No, Mars calling Ralph. Mars calling Ralph. Come in, Ralph. Like, yo, your mind out on Mars. Old folks used to call it studying. That's some down south shit right there. Studying. When your mind is off, when you're daydreaming, you're studying. That's what they used to call it. And so when you look at technology, you know, like when you can look at man, we're the first biocomputers. We're the first systems. And then the computers were a prototype of you. That's just like when they have, your aura is around your head, right? And it's radiating. So that's radiation. You know, most time when people think of radiation, they think of something poisonous. No, that's radiation. Your aura is radiating. And depending on your mood, it's different colors. And some people's aura around their head is bigger than others, right? You're radiating more than others. And you know, the thing about black people, we, with our afros in the 70s, that was our aura. We didn't even realize that our hairstyle, look at this guy, he's crazy, man. Our hairstyle, just imagine Michael Jackson with the big afro. That was his aura. Through the hairstyle, we don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't realize that. I realized that. But your aura is, and I was thinking about this the other day with my theory, the aura is more, it's around your whole body and it's bigger than others. Just like Shaq is taller than me, he's bigger than me. Well, he might be, but my aura and how I radiate might be bigger than his. It's bigger than his. It's bigger than, it could be bigger than this city, bigger than this state, can stretch across the globe. Your aura, how you can radiate. And there's information within that. So how I could tie this back into technology, they have a device called a Tempest device. And what it does is it protects, because with devices like computers, laptops, even mobile phones, they radiate, and there's information within that's radiating, that's coming out of the device that is within that field of radiation, within that energy field. And there are devices out there that can actually read and steal information off of your machines. That's why where I work, we got windows, but we can't open the windowsill because there's information that's coming off of our machines. There's data that's coming off of our machines. And there are devices out there that can read that radiation and take the data from that. You see? So with me having an aura, there's data within that. I'm actually getting data. I'm actually grabbing data while I'm walking around, right? Say, for instance, if I'm radiating over into the next state, it's information that's out there, and I can grab that information. That information becomes a part of me. And so now that information can pop into my head and bring it back to the central system, right? You see what I'm saying? And I'm able to get information well beyond where I'm physically sitting, well beyond what's on the internet, well beyond what's in a book, information that is being picked up that's within my radiating field of view off the planet. You see what I'm saying? So, that's it, man. That's it. I wanted to touch up on that. I want to touch up on those topics, man, and just ramble, because I was talking anyway. So I said, let me put the camera on and let me try to capture some of this information about, and so, and just to finish up, this is like, oh, he got ESP, extra sensory perceptions. That means that I'm able to pick up information. Like, I was just thinking about you. You know why? Because I'm radiating outside and emanating outside the room. So I caught you before you even came in, and the information came to me and told me that you were on the outside of the door, or that you was about to call. You see what I'm saying? And so they call it extra sensory perception, but really that's just my field of view. That's my aura, my aura that's going out, that's in California, depending on the person. Some people know they haven't developed yet, they're not dead yet. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been initiated yet. So it's just around their head, and they're not going to get that much information, if any, not extrasensory information that they perceived. They'll just get information that's on YouTube, or information on Facebook, or something they read, something they saw on TV, the news, or whatever. That's how they're going to get it. But for those of us who are 7 feet tall, when it comes to how to emanating, to our radiation, to how we radiate, giants. Those are the giants walking we walking across the planet. Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall, but I'm a giant walking across the planet, because my field of view from how I'm radiating, my aura, is off the planet, to where I can be picked up. If you got the right device, you be like, yo, there's a bright spot. There's a bright there's a bright energy source that you can see from space. if you got the right, if you can see from the sky, if you got the right technology, and it's a person. It's a person, man. It's a person, man. And so, that's all I wanted to say, man. Later.